What we started with at the top of the show, the news that Erik ten Hag is going to be appointed, we believe, in the coming days as the new Manchester United manager to start this summer. Tim, that's where I have to start with you. At the weekend, I asked you who you would have appointed. Yeah. You said Mauricio Pochettino. It looks like it's going to be ten Hag. So for you, is that the wrong appointment?
No, it's not the wrong appointment. I liked Pochettino because of his experience. He's a good manager, but because of his experience in the Premier League with Tottenham, so he knows the league. I don't think it's the wrong appointment. I know Rangnick liked both managers. He likes Ten Hag. My worry is that all of his experience has been in Dutch football, and the Premier League and Manchester United is a completely different beast than Ajax. He plays a good style of football. It mimics the Manchester United way. It's on the front foot, passing forward, playing through the lines. That part about it is good. I just worry about the experience. I worry that he's talked about, there's been rumors and reports about this being a 5-year plan. That's brilliant. But since Fergie, no one's even gotten 3 years. And so that, to me, is a worry. If they can mimic what Arsenal has done with Mikel Arteta and said, here, we're going to do it your way, you have a plan, we're going to allow you to get on with that, brilliant. That would be great. But that hasn't been the way for Manchester United.
Tim, you mentioned his experience. This is what's interesting, Danny, the resume. Ajax right now, yes, since 2017. Before that, Utrecht, Go Ahead Eagles, PSV assistant manager Twente when he was assistant to Steve McLaren. He's also been at Bayern Munich too as well. There's no big club other than PSV as an assistant, but this is Manchester United as the manager. Are you concerned?
I would have been concerned whoever was made manager. You can go and get the best manager in the world at the moment. They're not going to change things at that club. That's my biggest issue when it comes to Manchester United, because at the moment, any manager that goes into that club doesn't have the tools required that top clubs have. There's an arrogance behind the scenes. The question is, do the people behind the scenes allow their arrogance to drop? Because at the moment, they're like, if you don't do it the Manchester United way, then we're not going to bring you into the club. That's my concern. Tim's quite right. He's saying about the 5-year process. It is a rebuild. He rebuilt teams at Ajax and did successfully well with that, having lost top players. But my concern is it's a lot deeper than that. Behind the scenes, if they don't change things, you can have Klopp, you can have Guardiola, you can have Tuchel, you can have Conte, you can go and get your best manager in the world, and things will not change at that football club. And that is the biggest thing, regardless of who the manager is.
Agree, Tim?
Yeah, and one of the things that you bring up, I think about Klopp and Tuchel, I even think about Arteta. They have gone into football clubs and said, be quiet, I'm doing it my way. Hush the noise. At Manchester United, rightfully so, there's a lot of ex-players who had some of the biggest moments in that club's history during the treble-winning years, during the 1990s, who are in the media, who have big voices. The fans follow those opinions, right? And so when some of these players come out, and again, I said, rightfully so, they're allowed to have an opinion, the fans follow. And then they put tons of pressure on the manager. Manchester United need a manager who goes, I don't care about the noise. I don't care about all that. I'm going to do it my way. There's a plan and a process. We're going to have little wins over an incremental amount of time, and then we're going to be successful. That's what Klopp did. Liverpool's a massive football club as well, and he said, forget the history. We're going to write our own history.
What do you make of that?
No, 100%. But I think it goes back to behind the scenes. You have to prioritise. You look at Manchester City, you look at Liverpool, you look at the dominant clubs in Europe at the moment, they prioritise what goes on the pitch. Manchester United don't. For me, they're a club, at this specific moment, they finish in the top 4, they're happy. They're not bothered about the trophies because the finances are still coming in. If you look at Manchester United through recent history, they only spend big money more often than not when they finish outside the top 4. That's not a team that wants to have success. So in order for Manchester United to try and get back where they want to be, which they're a long way away from, they have to change their way of thinking, and it has to change from Manchester United Business Club back to Manchester United Football Club.
Which is what Louis van Gaal actually said, I think just last week, to Ten Hag via the media. Don't take this job if you want a football job, because this is a commercial club, as you said, a business, not a football club right now. Well, we expect an announcement in the coming days, as I say, that Erik ten Hag will be the new Manchester United manager. Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch highlights all season long, and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend at 7 a.m. Eastern. And for even more content, head over to Peacock, where we've got live games, original series and a dedicated round-the-clock Premier League channel featuring studio shows, classic matches and much more.